All right, Azul, we're here for another retro rematch, and we're looking at the 2005 World Championships format. Do you know much about this format at all?
Just the Nidoqueen deck.
Yeah.
I think similar to 2004, it was a secret deck, right? No one really knew about Nidoqueen.
Yeah, so this Worlds is really cool because the two decks in the finals, the Nidoqueen deck from Jeremy Marin and then the Tyranitar deck from Ross Coffin, were two completely rogue decks, both completely unknown decks heading into the tournament, at least as far as I understand it. I wasn't playing back then. I know you weren't playing back then either. But when it comes to retro formats, I feel like the 2005 format kind of gets left behind a little bit because the 2006 format, which is the one after this, is considered one of the best and loved by a lot of people. And this format is similar to that format, and so it just doesn't really get played very much because a lot of people, it's like, why would I play 2005 when 2006 has the same cards but a few more, and it's just like considered a little bit better.
It's a better version of the format.
Yeah. And then 2004 is different enough from 2006, where 2004 is a bit more popular than 2005. But yeah, at Worlds this year, I mean, I think the big deck that a lot of people were expecting to play against and wanted to beat was this Metacham deck. And this is the list that Curran Hill actually used to win the World Championships in the Juniors division back at Worlds 2005. But this was the deck that dominated most of the season. And as you can see, it is the World Championship version, so that's one of the, I think, goals for a lot of people is to get their deck printed as a Worlds deck, kind of cement yourself in Pokemon history.
Yeah.
But this was like the most popular deck for sure and the best deck in the format considered by most. And so that's what these two decks were aiming to do, was trying to capitalize on the popularity of Metacham EX. And I'll just talk about real quick this deck, what it does. Wise Aura, as long as Metacham is active, your opponent's Pokemon can't use any Pokemon powers or Poke Powers. And then Pure Power, its attack, spread 3 damage counters onto your opponent's Pokemon however you would like. So, I mean, it's a pretty toxic stalling deck. You use Team Aqua's hideouts, increase the retreat cost of your opponent's active Pokemon. You use Pokemon Reversal to bring up stuff and stall it into the active spot. You use POW Hand Extension to move energies off of Pokemon or to bring Pokemon up to the active spot. And you use Wally's Training to get into the Metacham EX right away on the first turn of the game and start using Pure Power immediately as quickly as possible.
Sheesh.
And then Energy Removal 2 is good old Crushing Hammer as well. So it's really just total toxic stall deck. And that's what these two decks were aiming to beat heading into the tournament. Now, I actually talked to Ross at one point a few years ago about this matchup. I sent him a message asking him just kind of his remembrance of the 2005 Worlds format. And he talks about how it was really cool that, you know, this deck that he built was a rogue deck and he was able to succeed, get all the way to the finals. But it just so happened that the other rogue deck that made it to the finals as well was a fighting type. Nidoqueen is fighting type, Tyranitar is weak to fighting. So he says it's a pretty tough matchup for the Tyranitar deck. But we're going to see if we can rewrite a little history today. Neither of us are super familiar with this format. No. I've played it a bit more than you have, but I haven't played it in a while, and it always takes a little bit of remembering to get back into it. But yeah, you excited to get into this?
Yeah, definitely am, Chip.
So the Nidoqueen deck, or Queendom as it was called, is really revolving around the Nidoqueen here with its family bonds. As long as it's in play, the retreat cost for all the Nidoran, Nidorina, Nidoran Male, Nidorina, and Nidoking is 0. Doesn't come up quite as much, but it is like a factor. It's all about these attacks here. Toxic, the defending Pokemon is now poisoned, and you put 2 damage counters instead of 1 on the defending Pokemon between turns. And Power Lariat, doing a ton of damage. 40 damage plus 10 more damage for each evolved Pokemon you have in play. So this deck plays extremely, extremely thick evolution lines. The 4-3-4 Nidoqueen, we see the 3-2-3 Pidgeot, just trying to get as many evolutions in play. So Power Lariat, even though you can only use 1 quick search, it's pretty common you're going to have multiple Pidgeot in play just because you want to be boosting your damage.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then a big part of this deck as well is the Milotic, the 1/1 line here, the Healing Shower. Whenever you play it to evolve one of your Pokemon, you get to heal all damage from all Pokemon in play, yours and your opponent's.
This was a big part of the strategy of dealing with some of the T-Tar decks, right? Because one of the T-Tar's strategy, T-Tar had a couple different strategies. There was a spread strategy, and then it could hit really hard with its secondary attack, and we'll talk about T-Tar here in a second, but this allowed you to play around in spread strategies pretty well.
And Phoebus does only have 30 HP, but back at this time, Rare Candy did allow you to evolve a basic into a stage 1, and you could also do it immediately. So you could bench Phoebus, Rare Candy into Milotic, all in the same turn, so you never had to worry about that liability being stuck in play.
Yeah, and then use that Poke Power.
The supporters are pretty common. It's a pretty similar similar setup for a lot of the decks in this format. 4 Copycat. 4 Celio's Network, letting you just search your deck for Pokemon, a Pokemon, put it into your hand. We got the 2 Stevens Advice, 2 Rockets Admin, which is a huge difference between the 2004 and 2005 format, is the existence of this card.
Shuffles your hand into your deck, and then you draw cards for your prize cards remaining. Pretty similar to the Iono card in the current standard format, and literally the exact same card as N from, was it Black and White? N got reprinted multiple times.
Yeah, Dark Explorers, Noble Victories.
Yeah.
Fates Collide in X and Y.
So this is the original iteration of the shuffle your hand into your deck, or on the bottom of your deck, and then draw for your prize cards remaining.
Yeah. And then the 1 Mr. Briney's Compassion. We got the 4 Rare Candy and 3 Great Ball. This Great Ball is actually the exact same as Nest Ball. Then we do have the 4 Desert Ruins, the same stadium you played last time. Then we do have the 4 Double Rainbow Energy, one of the format warping cards for sure. This card is extremely powerful. So many decks play it. And even in the 2006, 2007, and 2008 formats, this card is very good and very played. We do have 3 Heal Energy. It's just a colorless energy, but when you attach it to a Pokemon, you get to heal special conditions and also heal a damage counter from it, which does matter sometimes. And then the good old 6 Basic Grass and 2 Basic Fighting to power up Nidoqueen's various attacks.
Yeah. All right, well, let's pack up the Nidoqueen, let's break out the T-Tar and show that one off.
And next up, we're gonna look at Ross Coffin's Dark Tyranitar Electrode deck. In later years, this type of archetype was called Bomb Tar, but in 2005, Ross was kind of the innovator of this archetype. He called it POW Block. That was the name he gave this deck. So it's got a 3...
Dude, I didn't even realize that.
3 Tyranitar, 120 HP, Stage 2 Darkness type Pokemon, and it has 3 really good attacks.
Yeah, so it's got the grind here, 10 damage plus 10 more damage for each energy attached to Dark Tyranitar, and we will be building up a lot of energy on this with the Electrode that we'll talk about here in a second.
This deck plays so many energy cards.
And then it's got that spinning tail. It does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon for a dark and 2 colorless. And you do play, I forget what it's exactly called.
Scramble.
No, not Scramble. I was going to talk about the Devo. Effective TM De-Evolution card.
Ancient Technical Machine Rock.
Ancient Technical Machine, which, if anyone's familiar with TM De-Evolution, in the current standard format, it does de-evolve the highest stage of each of your opponent's Pokemon in play. So you can sit there and you can spinning tail 3-4 turns in a row, and then you hit them with the Stone Generator, the Ancient Technical Machine Rock.
Yeah.
And then it's got the super powerful Bite Off attack for 2 dark and 3 colorless, and it does 70 plus 50 more damage if the defending Pokemon is a Pokemon EX. So yeah, I would say Grind is definitely the worst of the attacks, but it's still useful. Can still make it work. Can still hit hard. Especially up against non-EX Pokemon, you can put a ton of energy on
it can do more damage than Bite Off at the end of a game as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And yeah, Bite Off costs 5 energy cards, so you might be thinking, how the heck do you ever power that thing up? And we'll talk about what some of these special energies are, but the main way you're getting energy cards into play is with Electrode EX.
Yeah, the Electrode EX has the ability, and we've seen this ability many times.
On many Electrodes.
Oh yeah, Electrode has a lot of them, for sure. Once in your turn, you may discard Electrode EX and all cards attached to it. If you do, it counts as knocking out the Electrode, and then you can get up to 5 energy cards from your discard pile, and then put them on your Pokemon in any way that you like. It also has attack, the Crush and Burn, 30, and then you may discard energy, as many energies you like, attached to your Pokemon in play. If you do 30 plus 20 more damage for each energy you discarded. And the energies were accelerating.
4 Special Dark. Once again, there was no basic Darkness energy at this time, so if you wanted to play a Dark type deck, you had to use Rainbow energies in some way, or the 4 Special Basic Dark, or Special Dark energies. Scramble energy here is the same as Reversal energy, a card that is in the current standard format. We've also got 4 copies of Heal Energy, get that 10 damage healing, which can matter, and then 2 Rainbow Energy. And then one of the innovations here from Rob was play Pidgeot and Magcargo in the same deck, and that's what he did here. So both really powerful support Pokemon. Yeah,
so the Pidgeot has a quick search, of course, search your deck for any one card. The Smooth Over from the Magcargo, we've seen multiple Smooth Over Magcargos throughout the years. It just takes a card from your deck and puts it on top of your deck.
Then for some more support options, we've got the Magmar here with Dump and Draw, discard 2 energy cards from your hand and then draw 2 cards for each energy you discarded. So it's a way you can draw cards early game and also get your energy cards in the discard pile. And then we've also got Jirachi with the Wishing Star Poke Power. This was one of the best cards in the entire format. The Metacham deck that we talked about earlier played 4. A lot of decks played 4 copies of this card. And, there's a later iteration of Jirachi from Team Up that was really similar to this card, but this was the original. And then similar to 2004, we got Dunsparce here with the Strike and Run. It wasn't quite as popular in this format as it was in 2004. 4 Celio's Network, similar to the other deck. 3 Copycat, 2 Rockets Admin. We've talked about all these things. We got 2 TV Reporter here. Draw 3 cards, then discard any 1 card from your hand. This is how you can get energy in the discard pile. It also lets you draw a card that you smooth over for, which is nice, or get a card specifically from the Wishing Star. And then the one of Steven's Advice as well, just another, you know, with the quick search with the Mag Cargo. 4 POW Hand Extension, another massive card in this format. It's very similar to Counter Catcher, and in fact it does the same thing as Counter Catcher, but also has an additional effect. So whenever you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, you can choose to do one of these 2 things. Either switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon to their active spot, or you can move an energy from their active Pokemon to one of their benched Pokemon, which that utility is really strong.
Yeah, just an insanely powerful card for sure.
3 rare candies to get into our Dark Tyranitars, and also to get into Electrode in 1 turn as well. 3 copies of Swoop Teleporter, a hugely impactful card. You can choose a basic Pokemon you have in play and swap it with a basic Pokemon that is in your deck. You discard the Pokemon you pulled out of play, so you can use the Jirachi, Swoop Teleporter, get rid of it, and then find another Pokemon to swap with it. We do have Pokemon Retriever, and then you talked about the Ancient Technical Machine, Rock.
Yep.
Get the Devolution. Let's get these decks shuffled up, and let's get to playing. We do have to high roll to see who's playing the World Championship winning list.
Yeah, let's figure it out.
And I think more than most of the other formats here, we're both hoping to win because this matchup is tough for POW Block. All right, I rolled a 9. Not bad.
All right, I'm already settling with the idea of playing the POW Block. Let's see it. There's a 7.
There's
All
a
right.
7.
It's going to be tough, but I'm up to the challenge.
Here we go. So in the 2005 Worlds format, you got to set up first, and then you flipped to see who would go first.
The most advantage possible to the flip winner in that format.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you like heads or tails, Chip?
We get to set up first.
Oh, gosh. Well, I guess we could still flip.
What?
We could still... Oh, I guess it wouldn't matter. We may as well
sure.
set up first. I
May
see
as
what
well
you're
set
saying.
up.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to need... Give me
Well,
the
no, you have
Dunsparce.
to set up because you have to choose what your active is, and then you
True.
flip. Yeah.
All right, Chip, would you like heads or tails?
I'm going to go with tails, please. It is tails. And I'm going to choose to go first here.
Okay. I did not get the Dunsparce card. I'm kind of sad.
And I cannot draw a card to start my turn. But I do have an energy to attach, and I'll get to go for the Look for Friends attack on Nidoran. I reveal cards from my deck until I reveal a basic Pokemon, show it to you, and put it into my hand. So I go like this. You do get to see everything that I reveal here. And we go until I get a basic. Sometimes you look for quite a while until you find a basic Pokemon. Oh my goodness, there we go. And it is a Nidoran female, adding that to the hand.
All right, does this deck play a way to donk a Nidoran? I don't think so. We just took a look at the 60. I don't remember what Larvitar does, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Chip, I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty good top deck.
Oh boy.
I'm kind of cooking here.
Rare Candy Pidgeot?
You know what it is.
Yeah.
Celio's Network. Searching my deck for a Pokemon card. And I'm going to... Well, it could be prized.
There's only one Pidgeot.
Ross, don't do me like this. I'll take the Pidgeot. I will then turn 1 Candy into Pidgey.
Totally legal play right there.
Use Quick Search, searching my deck for any 1 card and adding it to my hand. That'll be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and bench Dunsparce. I'm gonna go ahead and attach Heal Energy to Dunsparce, retreat to Dunsparce, and then I will strike and run, searching my deck for 3 basic Pokemon and putting them onto my bench. Swoop Teleport takes the energy with it, right?
Yes, you get to keep the energy when you swoop.
And I will grab Voltorb, Larvitar, and Slugma.
So no Jirachi to run into.
No, not this time.
Azul, I will draw for turn. I will bench the Nidoran that I found off the Look for Friends. And then I'll play Steven's Advice, drawing a card for each of your Pokemon in play, so I will draw 5 cards. Not gonna lie, not loving the way that's looking. I will put Desert Ruins in play. It's the only stadium either of us plays, so might as well make your stadiums not useful.
Not playable.
There's a difference between the 2004 format and this format. Stadiums cannot be replaced by stadiums with the same name. And then Azul, all I can do is look for friends, reveal cards from the top of my deck until I find a basic Pokemon, then add it to my hand.
All right.
Would love to see a Pidgey here. Hopefully not Feebas, hopefully not a Nidoran.
The Feebas would be
And there's the Pidgey.
unfortunate.
Okay, Pidgey to hand, you're up.
All right, I'll draw for turn, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use Quick Search, searching my deck for any 1 card and adding it to my hand.
The turn 1 Quick Search is just too dirty, man.
I will go ahead and play Swoop Teleport and get rid of my Dunsparce and grab myself that Magmar with the Dump and Draw attack. Where I can discard up to 2 energy cards from my hand and then draw 2 cards for each energy I discard. I'm gonna evolve my Slugma to Macargo. I'll play a Celio's Network, searching my deck for a Pokemon card, and I'll grab the Dark Pupitar.
It is important to note with Celio's Network, you can only get non-EX Pokemon. You cannot grab Electrode EX with it. But Dark Pupitar, totally legal play.
Evolve my Larvitar to Pupitar. And then I'll use the Smooth Over from Macargo, searching my deck. Any one card and putting it on top. And Chip, how many cards do you have in your hand?
Quite a few.
I'm gonna go with this one.
10.
The only thing I feel like I'm missing here is honestly energy.
Yeah.
Slow roll on the energy. And then I will use that dump and draw, discard a scramble energy to draw 2 cards.
Okay. I will draw for turn. I'm going to bench Pidgey. And then I'm assuming you put a Copycat in your hand, and you may get another one anyway, but I'm going to play a Rockets Admin, having us both shuffle our hands into the deck, and we'll each draw 6 cards since it is the beginning of the game.
Sounds good, Chip. Honestly, my hand was pretty bad. I needed any kind of reset there. But the Copycat top deck into like 10 would have been nice.
Yeah. Could not play my hand down quite enough. If I top decked Rare Candy, I would have played my hand down to like nothing. It would have been so sick.
I'll get my 6.
And I will draw my 6. I'll attach an energy for turn 2, my Nidoran female, and I will look for friends to reveal top cards from the top of my deck until I find, ooh, didn't have to go as far this time, a basic Pokemon, and I'll grab the Pidgey and add it to my hand.
All right, Chip, how many cards you got?
I've got 6 cards.
All right, so I'm gonna draw for turn here. Going to bench Jirachi, play Swoop Teleporter on the Jirachi.
Okay.
Discarding it and grabbing myself another Larvitar. Okay, I'm going to be going back in here. Attach a Scramble Energy to the benched Dark Pupitar, and then I'll play Copycat, shoving my hand into my deck and drawing 6 cards.
6 cards. Also, another thing in this format, we didn't do this last time. Your supporter card actually
That's true.
is supposed to stay in play.
Forgot about that.
It stays right there after you play it.
I'm going to go ahead and use Quick Search here, searching my deck for any one card. And while I'm in there, I'm going to go ahead and use Smooth Over, searching my deck for any one card and then placing it on the top of my deck. I'll then evolve the Dark Pupitar into Dark Tyranitar. I don't think I evolved it this turn.
No, you're good.
And then I'm going to go ahead and use Dump and Draw, discarding 2 energy cards and drawing 4 cards. Honestly, this is like a pretty efficient attack for decks that want energy in their discard pile.
Oh yeah, pretty good. Draw for turn. I'll use Celio's Network to search my deck for a basic Pokemon card or an evolution card. Reveal it to my opponent, put it into my hand. How many cards you got in your hand?
3, 6, 7, 8.
And from the Celios, I will grab myself a Pidgeot. I almost said EX. It's not an EX.
Feels like it should be, though.
Yeah. I will Rare Candy my Pidgey into Pidgeot EX, and then I'll use its Poke Power Quick Search to search my deck for a card and add it to my hand. I will take this card. I will bench a Pidgey, then I'll evolve my Nidoran into Nidorina. I will attach a double Rainbow Energy to my Nidorina, and I'll go for the Fast Evolution to search my deck for 2 evolution cards, show them to my opponent, put them into my hand. 2 evolution cards I grab will be Nidoqueen and Nidorina.
I'll draw for turn. Having to piece everything together here is definitely very interesting. Okay, I'm going to go with a Quick Search, searching my deck for any one card and adding it to my hand. And while I'm in there, I am going to go ahead and use that Smooth Over as well, searching my deck for any one card and placing it on top of my deck. Let's check this real quick. Okay. I'll then play TV Reporter, drawing 3 cards, and then discarding any one card from my hand. Discarding the Rainbow Energy. So 4 now. All right, here we go. I will evolve my Voltorb to Electrode EX. Retreat my Magmar into my Dark Tyranitar. Next, I will use that extra energy bomb from the Electrode, knocking it out, netting you 2 prize cards, but then I get 5 energies from my discard pile, and I get to put them on my Pokemon in any way that I like, I believe.
Yep.
And now that I'm behind in prize cards, Chip, I'm going to use a POW hand extension to move your double Rainbow Energy from your active onto your Pidgeot. And I'll play another POW hand extension, bringing up your Pidgeot into the active.
Okay.
Would it actually have gotten discarded if I had moved it to the Pidgey?
Yes.
All right, let's move it to the Pidgey.
Sure. It's going to be the same thing.
Yeah. I will then play a Pokemon Retriever to recover a Voltorb and place it onto my bench.
Okay.
I'll attach for turn with a Dark Energy to my benched Larvitar, and then I'm going to go with the grind for 100 damage for the KO on your Pidgeot, and I'll get myself 1 prize card.
That is a KO. I'll promote Pidgey, and I'll draw for turn. I guess I should have gotten a Pidgeot. That would have been good, but I'm A-okay here still. I'll evolve my Pidgey into Pidgeotto. I will evolve my Nidorina into Nidoqueen. I'll evolve my Nidoran into Nidorina. I will play a Great Ball to search my deck for a basic Pokemon, excluding Pokemon EX, and put it onto my bench. I'll grab myself out a Pidgey.
The birds are back.
I'm gonna go back in. Then I'll play Rocket's Admin, having both players shuffle their hands into the deck. You get 5, I get 4.
Sounds good, Chip.
I'll attach an energy for turn to Nidorina. I'll retreat Pidgeotto into Nidoqueen. And I will go for Toxic. You are poisoned, and you take 2 damage counters between turns instead of just 1.
All right, sounds good. I will draw for turn, and I will quick search. Searching my deck for any one card. And while I'm in there, actually, smooth over as well. Get that out of the way. Any one card putting on top of my deck. Evolve to Dark Pupitar. Attach a special darkness energy from hand to my Dark Tyranitar. And I will grind for the knockout once again.
Okay.
Get myself a prize card.
Up to 40 damage from the poison. I'll promote Pidgeotto. I will draw for turn. That was a nice top deck, as I will evolve into Pidgeot. I'll go for Quick Search to search my deck for any card, add it to my hand. I'll play Steven's Advice to draw a number of cards equal to the number of Pokemon you have in play, so I'll draw 6. I'll play a Great Ball, search my deck for a basic Pokemon without a rule box. That's not a Pokemon EX, and put it onto my bench. I'll grab a Nidoran female, put it down. I'll evolve Nidorina into Nidoqueen.
It's pretty big.
I'll attach a Grass Energy from my hand to the Nidoqueen. I will retreat into the Nidoqueen, and I will go for the Power Lariat, dealing 40, 50, 60, counting all my evolution Pokemon, times 2, 120 for the knockout.
All right, Chip. Sounds good. It's a little scary, but try to manage. I'm gonna go ahead and send my Pidgeot up to the active here. I'll draw for turn. Evolve into Dark Tyranitar. Pretty good top deck, if you say so myself.
It's almost like you put it there.
They do be saying that. I will then use Quick Search, searching my deck for any one card, then evolve my Voltorb to an Electrode EX, and I will use that extra energy bomb, Chip. I'm gonna give you 2 more prize cards. Get some more energy for my Tyranitar here. Are we giving it everything?
Load them up.
And I'll grab 2 Special Darks, the Heal Energy, and a Scramble to the T-Tar, and I'll put a Scramble Energy on my Pidgeot as well. I feel like it might come in clutch. And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, you do not play any Gust effects in your deck, correct? There's no POWs, no...
I don't think so. I don't remember, but I don't think there's a POW.
I'm going to risk benching this Dunsparce, and then I will play a Rocket's Admin. We both shuffle our hands into our deck and draw a card for prize cards remaining. Chip, you only get 1 card here.
You only get 1 card.
And I'll get 4.
I'm realizing that last turn I probably should have gotten a Copycat instead of Steven's Advice. I don't think I have a Stevens in my deck anymore.
Oh. Is that one of the reasons to play is the recovery from the admins?
Yeah, I would assume.
All right, my turn's not over quite yet. I'm gonna use Smooth Over, search my deck for any one card and put it on top. Grab this one. I still have a long ways to go here. I do have 4 prize cards remaining.
I got a few turns.
You got time. And I will go ahead and grind for the KO on your Nidoqueen.
Goodbye, Nidoqueen. I'll promote my Pidgeot. I need to take my 1 card from the admin, and I'll draw for turn. How many cards you got in your hand?
5.
I'll go for the Copycat. Shuffle my hand into the deck and draw 5 cards.
It's not a bad top deck there, Chip.
I'll draw 5 cards. That is something. I'll use Quick Search, search my deck for any card, add it to my hand.
I just feel like Swoop Teleporter also makes it easy to get into Dunsparce potentially. But I guess like discarding, like if you open Slugma or Pidgey, you don't really want to discard them to get Dunsparce, especially only with 1 recovery card in the deck.
I think I'm going to lose this game, Azul. We'll see though.
That's what we're hoping for. Chat's pulling for me right now.
I'll Rare Candy my Nidoran into Nidoqueen.
Okay.
I'll attach a double Rainbow Energy. I will retreat my Pidgeot into the Nidoqueen, and I'll go for the Toxic. To poison you, you do take 2 between turns.
All right, Chip, sounds good. I'm gonna draw for turn here. I'll attach a Heal Energy, healing the poison, going down to 10, and I believe that should give me the KO on your Nidoqueen. But I'm gonna go with Quick Search first. That's a good start for my turn. I think there's more to be done. And while I'm in there, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Smooth Over as well. Place any card from the deck on top. And with that, I'm gonna go for the grind for the KO on your Nidoqueen. Get myself another prize card.
I'll promote Pidgeot. I will draw for turn. Quick Search, search my deck for any card, add it to my hand. You may have guessed it, but I did prize my last Nidoran female as my last prize.
Is there no Pokemon recovery in that deck?
No.
Oh no. I would have dealt with it even if you did have it. Oh, I guess you could candy out. Well, no, even if you candied out this turn, I think I had the answer.
Yeah, this turn, yeah. But it's like having it in play in previous turns. Yeah, Azul, I don't think I have a play. My last prize is my last Nidoran, so I wasn't able to get it established earlier on in the game. The admin Well, I did draw out of it. I didn't have enough energy set up on my Nidoqueen. I don't know. I guess I went wrong somewhere along the way, but I'm going to scoop this one up. You get a win in this matchup that is so bad, supposedly. And we're going to go to game 2.
All right. I'll see how this next one plays out.
All right, Azul, game 2 coming up. And one of the nice things about this format, though, is I do get to see my opening hand and then choose if I want to go first or second, similar to winning the flip.
Yeah, and I feel like most of the time you're still going to choose first, especially with the potential attackers you have turn 1. Like, I've done first, you have Nidorina. It would be like, you'd have to have like a pretty bad hand, I think, to choose second. Or I guess like just a supporter-reliant hand would be the reason to choose second. All right, let's get it. You want first or second, Chip?
I'm going to choose to go second. You're up. No card draw.
Not draw for turn. I'll bench Slugma, attach to the active, and Light Punch for 10.
Light Punch for 10. I'll draw for turn. Needed the card draw. I'm going to attach an energy for turn to my Nidoran, and I will go for the Steven's Advice. Only draw 2 cards, but I will draw 2 cards. 1, 2. I'll put Desert Ruins in play, and I will look for friends, reveal cards from the top of my deck until I find a basic. I do get the Nidoran female, and I'll kick it over to you, Azul.
All right, Chip, sounds good. I'm gonna draw for turn here.
You could win.
Could win. I don't have it in my current hand, and honestly, my options in this hand are pretty mid. I'm gonna have to go with a copycat here, shuffle the hand into the deck, and then I believe I'm drawing 7 cards.
7 cards.
All right, I'm gonna try and play as many as possible, so that way, if you have a copycat, you don't get too many cards back. But we'll see what I draw into here. And I'll draw my 7 off of copycat here. 5, 6, 7. Almost interesting.
Whew.
But I did find myself a Dunsparce.
Okay. I'm not getting KO'd, so that is a good thing.
I'll attach a heal energy for turn, retreat my Larvitar into the Dunsparce, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use that strike and run, searching my deck for 3 basic Pokemon and putting them onto my bench. All right, and off the strike and run, I am gonna go ahead and grab a Magmar, a Voltorb, and a Pidgey, and I will be running into the Magmar.
I will draw for turn. I'll bench a Nidoran female. I'll attach a basic fighting energy for turn to it. Then I'll go for the copycat. Shuffle my hand into the deck and draw a number of cards equal to the number of cards you have, which looks like 5.
Yeah.
I'll use my Great Ball to search the deck for a basic Pokemon, put it onto my bench. Of course, not an EX. I will bench a Pidgey. Then I'll go look for friends to reveal cards from the top of my deck until I find a basic Pokemon. That is definitely the worst one,
yeah,
the Feebas, adding it to my hand.
I mean, you could bench it. I don't, spinning attack when I KO it immediately.
I'm not gonna bench it.
We can see what happens. All right, Chip, sounds good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and play Steven's Advice here to draw 3 cards.
Yep.
1 for each of your Pokemon in play. It's all right, I've seen better. I will then attach a heal energy from hand to the Magmar, and I'm gonna dump and draw, discarding 2 energy and drawing 4 cards.
Okay. I will draw for turn. I'll evolve my Pidgey into Pidgeotto. I'll use Celio's Network, search my deck for a basic Pokemon or evolution card, reveal it and show it to my opponent, add it to my hand, and I will grab a Nidorina. I'll evolve my active Nidoran into Nidorina. This is very similar to last game, so I'm hoping that it's not the same results, but I will attach a double rainbow energy to my Nidorina, and I'll go for the fast evolution to search my deck for 2 evolution Pokemon, reveal them to my opponent, add them to my hand.
Yeah, my turn would have to be insane for me to pull off the same play I was able to last time.
You never know.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to do it.
Off the fast evolution, I'll grab a Nidorina and a Pidgeot.
Sounds good.
You're up.
All right, Chip. I'm gonna draw for turn here. Oh,
No way.
that is a start.
Oh, gosh.
I'll play TV Reporter, drawing 3 cards and then discarding any 1 card from my hand. I am 1 card off.
Thank goodness.
I think. I believe I'm 1 card off. And off the TV Reporter, I will discard a Copycat. Then I'm gonna Rare Candy out my Pidgeot. And I'm gonna go ahead and use that quick search ability, searching my deck for any 1 card. I'll evolve my Slugma into Macargo, evolve my Larvitar into a Dark Pupitar. I will attach a Scramble Energy to my Dark Pupitar. I'll then go ahead and use that Smooth Over of the Macargo to search my deck for any 1 card. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use that dump and draw from the Magmar, discarding 1 energy card from my hand, and oops, this goes on top of the deck, and drawing 2 cards.
Draw for turn. I'll evolve Pidgeotto into Pidgeot. Evolve Nidoran into Nidorina. I'll use Quick Search to search my deck for any card, add it to my hand. I'll take this card from the Quick Search. I'll evolve my Nidorina into Nidoqueen. And I'll go for the Copycat to shuffle my hand into the deck and draw a number of cards equal to the number of cards you have, which looks like 8.
It is 8.
Draw 8. I'll bench a Nidoran female. I'll attach for turn to the Nidoran female. The good old double rainbow. And I'm actually going to retreat my Nidoqueen into Nidoran female here, and I'll use Look for Friends as my attack for turn to reveal cards from the top of the deck until I find a basic Pokemon and add it to my hand. And I'll grab a Pidgey.
Sounds good. All right, Chip, how many cards you got in hand?
I've got 7 cards in my hand.
7?
7.
Okay, I'll draw for turn. I'll evolve my Dark Pupitar to a Dark Tyranitar. I'm going to evolve my Voltorb to an Electrode EX. I'm going to use the Quick Search from the Pidgeot here, search my deck for any one card. I'll then swoop Teleporter, getting rid of my Dunsparce, and getting a Larvitar to play out of my deck. I'm going to retreat my Magmar into my Dark Tyranitar here, and I will use Extra Energy Bomb, giving you 2 prize cards, getting me 5 energies from my discard pile here. And off the Electrode, I'll put a Scramble and a Special Dark on the active, and then a Rainbow, a Heal, and a Special Dark to my benched Larvitar.
Okay.
I'll then play Celio's Network, searching my deck for a Pokemon card and adding it to my hand. I'm going to get a Dark Pupitar.
I was really hoping I was not going to get admin here.
Evolving my Larvitar to Dark Pupitar. I will then attach a Heal Energy from hand to the Dark Pupitar, play a POW hand extension to bring up your Pidgeot.
Yeah.
And doing exactly 100 damage, I will bench a Larvitar. And then next, I'm going to use Smooth Over, searching my deck for any one card and putting it on top, taking this one. And with that chip, I will use Grind to KO your Pidgeot.
And I will promote to Nidorina and draw for turn. Now that is a pretty good top deck. I will bench a Pidgey. I will use Rare Candy to evolve Pidgey into my Pidgeot.
That is pretty good.
How many cards you got in your hand?
4.
I'll use Quick Search to search my deck for a Pokemon, add it to my hand. Or, I'll get any card, and it's totally not going to be a Pokemon. Add it to my hand. Then I'll play Celio's Network to search my deck for a Pokemon and add it to my hand. I'll grab Pidgey. I'll evolve Nidoran into Nidorina. I will bench Pidgey. I'll then retreat Nidorina with the Family Bonds of Pokebody of Nidoqueen. I'll attach a Double Rainbow Energy as my attachment for turn, and then I will Power Lariat for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, minus 10, 70, times 2, 140 for the knockout, taking a prize.
All right, it's going to be tough to come back from, I think, here, Chip. Goodbye, Dark T-Tar. I'm going to promote my Pidgeot. I'll draw for turn. I'm going to play a Swoop Teleporter, targeting the Magmar. Send it to the discard pile, grab myself a Voltorb. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use Quick Search, searching my deck for any one card, adding it to my hand. All right, Chip, I'm going for a big Hail Mary play here. I don't know if it's gonna come together, but I'm gonna evolve my Voltorb to the Electrode. I'm gonna go ahead and use that Extra Energy Bomb, give you some cards.
2 prizes.
And grab only 3 energy. I'll put a Scramble and a Special Dark onto the Pupitar. I'm gonna put a Scramble onto the Pidgeot here. I'm gonna then use a POW hand extension, moving your Double Rainbow Energy to your Pidgey.
Yeah.
So it gets discarded.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Team Rocket's admin.
Makes sense.
And you are going down to 1, but I think to win this game at this point, I think I need to find T-Tar and a POW hand extension to KO your Pidgeot to hopefully lock you out of the game. I don't think KO when you're active is gonna be enough here. Quick Search would find you probably a decent card to reboot. You have plenty of time. I have 5 prize cards remaining.
I do have time. That is the thing, yeah. It might not find it immediately, but
So I'm gonna need a pretty good draw here off this Rockets. Let's see if it happens.
I do only get 1 card.
I do get 5. Oof. And I did come up a little bit short. I'll POW hand extension, bringing up your Pidgeot off the bench into the active. And then I'm gonna use Smooth Over, searching my deck for any one card and putting it on top. I'll take this one.
Yep.
And with that chip, I will use Clutch. 40 damage, and you can't retreat.
Can't retreat. I'll draw for turn. Okay. What you got? 4 cards?
4 cards.
I'll use Quick Search to search my deck for any card, add it to my hand. This is definitely an interesting spot here, Azul. I do have time, so that is a plus.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'll take this card off of Quick Search. I'll then play Steven's Advice to draw a card for each of your Pokemon in play, so I will draw 4 cards.
Sounds good.
I'll evolve my Nidorina into Nidoqueen.
Yeah.
I'll attach an energy for turn to the Nidoqueen, and I will pass, Azul.
All right, sounds good, Chip. I'll draw for turn. Evolve my Dark Pupitar into a Dark Tyranitar. I'm gonna go ahead and use that Quick Search on my Pidgeot, searching my deck for any one card. And I will play Rocket's Admin. We both shuffle our hands into our deck and draw cards equal to our prize cards remaining. I'm getting 5.
I'm getting 1.
I'll go ahead and use the smooth over from my Macargo, placing any 1 card on top of my deck. I'll then retreat into my Dark Tyranitar, and I'm just going to go for the Bite Off for the KO.
Mix it up with the attacks. I'm going to promote my Nidorina, and I'll draw for turn. Okay, that is interesting. I'm going to retreat my Nidorina into Nidoqueen. I will evolve my Nidorina into Nidoqueen, and then I'll play Copycat, shuffling my hand in and drawing 6 cards.
The Copycats keep saving you. 6 cards, Chip.
I just need an energy.
Yeah, it's not looking good here, I'm not going to lie.
You never know.
6 is a lot.
Draw 6.
All right, that'll
first
work.
Card.
Oh, hold on. You do need a fighting energy, Chip. Let you take that back.
You're right. I do need a fighting energy. Hold up. Wait. Ooh, that's a good point. Good catch. Good catch. All right, there's my 6. Yikes. Okay.
I'm still not feeling confident.
Yeah. Okay. I will bench the Nidoran. I'll attach a Grass for turn to Nidoqueen, and I'll go for the Toxic. So you're poisoned and put 2 damage counters between turns instead of just 1.
And pass? Oh, that's the attack, yeah.
That's the attack.
All right, I'll draw for turn. Oh, well, I mean, I'm still feeling not very good about this situation. Oh my God. So these even have free retreat?
No, Nidoqueen does not have free retreat.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't think that changes much for me.
Everyone else in the Nido family has free retreat.
All right, gonna do a little resource calculations here, Chip, and it says not very good for me.
Were you checking my double rainbows?
Checking something. I'm gonna go ahead and play a Celios Network, searching my deck for a Pokemon card. I'm gonna go ahead and fail that. All right, I'll use Quick Search, searching my deck for any 1 card. I do have to take one of these. And then I'll use Smooth Over, placing any 1 card on top of my deck. And the only win condition I see here, Chip, is to be as cheesy as possible. So I'm gonna Power Hand Extension up your Pidgey. I will attach a Heal Energy to heal the poison.
Okay.
And 10 damage. And I will, well, it's not gonna work out as good as I think. I thought. Spinning Attack, but unfortunately I do 40 damage here active.
Okay.
I'm reaching here.
So then 20 to everything else?
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. I regret everything. We'll see.
Draw for turn, and I'll use Celios Network, search my deck for a Pokemon, put it into my hand. I will grab the Pidgeotto. I will then retreat Pidgeotto into Nidoqueen, and I will attach a Heal Energy. Healing 10, and then Power Lariat for the knockout.
All right, Chip. Well, that was.
I thought you were gonna go after
less
my
close.
Fighting Energy.
You had so much energy left.
I did top deck. I would have been able to get Pidgeot instead of Pidgeotto.
Yeah,
but
so much
I
left.
could have. It could have stuck me for a turn.
Yeah, but I need more than a turn. I need to win the game.
True, true.
Getting +1 turn isn't going to be good enough there. I need to go for some kind of actual win condition. I was going to be able to, from there, I could Spinning Attack again, and then I could start to run around. I could run to Pidgeot and clutch for a turn. I could run to Macargo, scramble, hit for 50 for a turn, and then look for maybe some kind of TM Devo play. I don't know. But yeah, I had to do some. It had to get cheesy for sure. Yeah. There's no other out. All right, we have plenty of time for game 3.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. I'll finally get to choose to go first or second based on my opening hand. I'm looking for that Dunsparce start.
Of course.
With 3 Dunsparce in the deck. Also, there's the Swoop Teleporters as well.
Swoops, there's Jirachi.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, opening the Jirachi is really good as well, isn't it? I actually think I'm undervaluing the Jirachi. I need to probably get it to my bench a little bit sooner. It's actually hard to find Pokemon after your initial Dunsparce search, though, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
But it does combo really well with the heal energy later in the game to set up big combo plays. And Chip, with this hand, I'm going to choose second here.
Okay. I do have a mulligan.
That's pretty good. I'll be going second, Chip.
You're going second, okay. Opening hand, and I will start with a Great Ball. I can't play that. Can't play supporters, but I can play item cards. Search for my deck for a basic Pokemon, put it onto my bench. I will grab myself a Nidoran female, and then Azul, I will pass it over to you.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead and draw for turn here. I'm gonna play Swoop Teleporter. Of course, targeting the Larvitar here. Don't have another choice. Discard the Larvitar, get myself a Dunsparce. I will then bench a Voltorb, and then play Steam's Advice to draw 3 cards.
Okay, okay. No energy.
No energy, and with that, Chip, I've got to pass.
Okay, I will draw for turn. I'm going to evolve to Pidgeotto. I'll put a Desert Ruins in play. I will retreat my Pidgeotto into Nidoran female, and I'll pass.
Okay, Chip, I'll draw for turn. A little bit late, but better late than never. I'll attach a Heal Energy to my Dunsparce. I'm going to evolve my Voltorb into an Electrode EX. And I'm going to play a Celios Network, searching my deck for a Pokemon card. And I will grab Macargo. And then I'm going to go ahead, strike and run, search my deck for 3 basic Pokemon, put them onto my bench. And I'm going to grab Jirachi, Pidgey, and Slugma, running to the Jirachi.
You don't have any Larvatars.
They are MIA currently.
I will draw for turn. Azul, how many cards do you have in your hand?
I have 7.
I'll attach a heal energy to my Nidoran female. I'll evolve my Pidgeotto into Pidgeot, and then I'll go for Quick Search. Search my deck for any card and add it to my hand. I'll take this card off the Quick Search. Then I will play Copycat, shuffle my hand into the deck, and draw a number of cards equal to the number of cards my opponent has in hand, which for you is 7.
Tis.
Drawing 7. Jeez. Not bad draws, not gonna lie. I will evolve my Nidoran female into Nidorina. I will bench a Nidoran female. I will also rare candy that Nidoran into a Nidoqueen.
Oh boy.
Then I'll go for the Look for Friends to reveal cards from the top of my deck until I find a basic Pokemon and add it to my hand, grabbing a Pidgey.
Sounds good, Chip. All right, go ahead and draw for turn. Okay, that is what I was looking for. I'm gonna go ahead and evolve my Slugma to a Macargo. I'm then gonna go ahead and use Smooth Over, searching my deck for any one card and putting it on top. And in this situation, it doesn't matter what the other cards are for my Wishing Stars. I'm gonna use Wishing Star. I would look at the top 5. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this card that I smoothed over into. I'll then play Celio's Network, searching my deck for a Pokemon card and adding it to my hand. And to no one's surprise, I'm gonna grab Pidgeot. I will then rare candy my Pidgey into Pidgeot and then use Quick Search, searching my deck for any one card.
He's setting up.
And then I will swoop Teleporter, my Dunsparce, discarding it and getting myself a Larvitar. They weren't far away, they just weren't right away. I'll then evolve the Larvitar into a Dark Pupitar, attach return to the Pupitar, and Chip. My Jirachi's asleep, and I'll pass over to you and see if it wakes up.
See if it wakes up.
It's awake.
It does wake up. I'll draw for turn. I'll attach a Grass Energy for turn to Nidoqueen. I will evolve my Nidorina into Nidoqueen. I'll bench a Pidgey, and then I'll go for the Rockets admin, having both players shuffle their hands into the deck. And we will both draw 6 cards here. I will then rare candy my Pidgey into Pidgeot. I can only use one Quick Search, but I'll still take it.
This is where things get really tough, I feel like. The double Pidgey.
Yeah.
It's gonna be brutal.
I'll use Quick Search to search my deck for any card, add it to my hands. I'll take this card. Then I'll look for Friends to reveal cards from the top of my deck until I find a basic Pokemon and add it to my hand, grabbing Nidoran female.
All right, gonna draw for turn here. How many cards you got, Chip?
Got 6 cards.
I'll attach a Scramble Energy from my hand to the Dark Pupitar. And then I'm gonna go with a Wishing Star, looking at the top 5 cards of my deck, taking any card from there that I want and adding it to my hand. I'll take that one. I'm gonna play Copycat. Shuffle my hand into my deck.
6 cards.
And draw 6 cards. All right, I'm gonna evolve my Dark Pupitar into a Dark Tyranitar. And I'm gonna go ahead and use Quick Search here, searching my deck for any one card. And while I'm in there, I'm gonna go ahead and use Smooth Over as well and put any one card on top of my deck. I'll bench a Larvitar, and with that, Chip, I will pass it over to you.
Okay. Flip for sleep.
Wakes
Wakes up. I'll draw for turn. I'll evolve my Nidoran into Nidorina. I'll play Celio's Network to search my deck for a basic Pokemon and put it into my hand. Or a basic Pokemon or evolution card. I'll grab myself a Pidgey. I'll then use Quick Search to search my deck for any card, add it to my hand. Grabbing this card. I'll then bench a Pidgey. I'll attach a Fighting Energy for turn to Nidoqueen. I'll then retreat Nidorina with Family Bonds into the Pidgey, and I'll pass.
Draw for turn here. How many cards you got in hand, Chip?
5.
Okay. I will go ahead and Wishing Star, looking at the top 5 cards on my deck, taking any one of them and adding it to my hand. I think the cheese needs to be in effect in this one, Chip, I'm not gonna lie.
I would probably agree with you.
All right, I'm gonna go for a Quick Search here, searching my deck for any one card, adding it to my hand. Okay. Quick Search for that, and while I'm in here, I'm gonna go ahead with the Smooth Over as well. Put a card on top of my deck. I'll attach a Darkness Energy for turn to my Dark Tyranitar, evolve my Larvitar to Pupitar, and I will pass, Chip.
Okay. I'll use Quick Search, search my deck for any card, add it to my hand. I'll use Celio's Network to search my deck for a evolution or basic Pokemon, add it to my hand. I'll grab Pidgeotto. I'll evolve my Pidgey into Pidgeotto. I'll evolve my Nidorina into Nidoqueen. I'll attach a double Rainbow Energy to my Nidoqueen. I will retreat Pidgeotto, and we're going on the offensive finally. I'm going to go for the Power Lariat for the knockout on Jirachi.
All right, this is where things have to get interesting for me. I don't know if it's going to be enough, to be honest, Chip. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and promote my Dark Tyranitar here. I will draw for turn. I'll start with a quick search. Search my deck for any one card, adding it to my hand. And then while I'm in there, I'm going to go ahead and smooth over as well. Put a card from my deck on top. Oh, I guess I could have done this a little bit different. Well, it had to happen anyways. All right, I'll evolve my Dark Pupitar to a Dark Tyranitar. I'll attach a Scramble Energy to my Pidgeot. And then Chip, I'm going to go with Spinning Tail. Dealing 20 to everything, 30 to the active with the special, because the Dark Tyranitar has the special Dark Energy.
Okay. I see through your tricks, Azul GG.
It's gonna be tough. I fear I don't have a better route though.
Yeah. I will draw for turn. How many cards in your hand?
6.
I'll attach an energy for turn to the Nidoqueen here on the bench. I'll then play a Copycat to shuffle my hand into the deck and draw 6 cards, since that's how many you have.
Sounds good.
I'll use Quick search my deck for any card, add it to my hands. Add that card.
There's so many guys. We'll see.
Then I'll Power Lariat for more than enough for the KO.
Sounds good. My Tyranitar. I'll draw for turn. And I'll quick search for, get something here. Something's gotta be worth it. I'm gonna grab this one. And then while I'm in there, I'm gonna go ahead and use Smooth Over as well. Put that on top of the deck. I'll attach a Scramble Energy return to my Macargo, and then I will Pow Hand Extension up one of your Pidgeots.
Do you have a preference?
No.
One has a Pidgeotto, one doesn't.
I guess the one without the Pidgeotto. And I'm gonna clutch for 40.
Okay, lock it up. Draw for turn. I'll use Quick search my deck for a card, add it to my hand. I'll use Mr. Brownie's Compassion to pick up my Pidgeot. I'll promote to Nidoqueen. I'll evolve Pidgeotto into Pidgeot. I'll attach energy for turn to my bench Nidoqueen, and I'll go for the Toxic. You are poisoned, and you have to take 20 between turns.
Sounds good. How many cards you got in hand?
Quite a few. 9.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead, draw for turn here. I will use Quick search my deck for any one card. I'm gonna grab this one. I'll then use Smooth Over as well while I'm in there. Can't forget the Smooth Over.
You forget to smooth over all the time.
This is true. And then I will play a Pow Hand Extension.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh. Play a Pow Hand Extension, bringing up your Pidgeot. Doesn't really, they're both evolved now, right?
They're the exact same.
So give me any of them. I'll attach a Heal Energy, removing the poison. And Chip, I will clutch for 40.
Okay. Draw for turn. You also heal a damage from the...
Oh yeah,
energy.
true.
Yep. I'll use Quick search my deck for any card, add it to hand. Take this. I'll attach an energy for turn to my bench to Pidgeot, and I'll pass to you.
All right, draw for turn. I'm gonna go ahead and use Quick searching my deck for any one card. I'll play a Pow Hand Extension on your benched Pidgeot. Attach a Scramble Energy to my Dark Tyranitar. I'll use Smooth Over, searching my deck for any one card, and putting it on top. And then Chip, I will clutch for 40.
Draw for turn. Quick search my deck for any card, add it to hand. Add this card. I'll play Celio's Network as my supporter for turn, search my deck for any Pokemon, add it to hand. I'll grab Pidgeot, add it to hand.
The odds are in.
I'll attach a Heal Energy to my Pidgeot, healing 10 damage from it.
Sounds good.
Then I'll go for the Clutch, 40 damage.
All right.
If you hadn't gotten the Heal Energy, my Pidgeot would have killed your Pidgeot first.
I'll draw for turn here. I'm going to attach a special Dark to my Dark Tyranitar, and then I'm going to play a Rockets Admin.
Yeah.
Oh, but Iona there.
Yeah.
Shuffle the hands into the deck, draw for prize cards remaining on both sides. I get 6.
I get 4.
We'll go ahead and use Quick searching my deck for any one card. And I'm going to grab this, then I'm going to use Smooth Over, put any one card on top of my deck. I'll then retreat into my Dark Tyranitar and
You can't do that.
Oh, because of clutch. Oh no. Well, that was my plan. Let's see here. Let's see if I can recover from this situation. I'm gonna go ahead and clutch for 40.
Clutch for 40. Draw for turn. I'll use Quick search my deck for any card, add it to my hand. I'll use Celio's Network to search my deck for a basic Pokemon or evolution card, add it to my hand. I'll grab Pidgeot, and I will go for the Clutch for 40 damage.
All right, I'll draw for turn. I'm going to bench Dunsparce and then play Swoop Teleporter, targeting the Dunsparce, and I'm gonna get another Wait, can you get some Pokemon with the same name?
I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna get another Dunsparce. Next, I'll play a TV Reporter, drawing 2 cards and then discarding 1. And then I will clutch for the knockout here.
Okay. I will promote Pidgeot, and I will draw for turn. I'll use Quick search to search my deck for any Pokemon, or any card, add it to my hand. I'll bench a Pidgey, I'll rare candy into that Pidgey, into Pidgeot. And then I'll play Rockets Admin, have us both shuffle our hands into the deck. You get 5, I get 4.
Sounds good.
I'm worried now that since we've played these games with Rockets admin, I'm gonna go like play standard with Iono and shuffle my hand into the deck, get a game loss.
I get 5.
And I get 4. I'll retreat my Pidgeot. Woo! What was on that? 60, right? Yeah. Into Nidoqueen, and I'll go for the Toxic for the knockout in between turns.
Sounds good.
No Pheasantipity EX for you.
Send up the Macargo with the Scramble energy on it and draw for turn. How many cards you got in hand, Chip?
I've got 5 cards in hand.
Okay, I'm gonna POW hand extension up your Pidgeot with no damage on it off the bench. I'm then gonna play Copycat, shuffling my hand into my deck and drawing
5
cards. I'll then attach a Rainbow for turn to my Electrode EX.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna use Smooth Over, searching my deck for any one card and adding it to my hand. Or not adding it to my hand, adding it to the top of my deck. And then I'll Combustion.
50 damage.
50 damage. Let's get in there.
Draw for turn. I'll attach for turn to Nidoqueen. I will retreat Pidgeot into this Nidoqueen right here. And I'll go for the Power Lariat for 80 damage for the knockout.
All right. Draw for turn. I'll bench Voltorb and play Rockets admin. Both shuffle our hands into our deck and draw cards for prize cards remaining. I had like a small chance of winning. I need to get like a card on the previous turn, but now I think it's pretty much all but done. And I will Spinning Tail.
Okay, so how much is it? 30 to the active. 6.
20 on the rest of the squad.
Draw. I'll use Quick Search my deck for any card, add it to my hand. How many cards you got in your hand?
5.
I'll play Steven's Advice to draw 4 cards, 1 for each of your Pokemon in play. Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I will Power Lariat for the knockout, going down to just 1 prize card left.
Yeah, I don't think I have a play here.
Yep.
Unfortunately, my last T-Tar is nowhere to be found. That Larvitar that I did put into the discard at the beginning of the game, I prized the Retriever, so I wasn't able to get into that final T-Tar. And when I actually, the one prize card I drew was the Retriever, but you admin me that turn. So all I have here, I did get to the Ancient Technical Machine Rock, but my Electrode won't be surviving a hit. But I'll go ahead, de-evolve all your Pokemon, draw myself 3 prize cards.
Yep, so these come to hand, this comes to hand, this comes to hand, this comes to hand, and then these all get KO'd. I will promote my Nidorina. I will draw for turn. I will evolve Nidorina into Nidoqueen. I will evolve this Nidorina into Nidoqueen. 40, 50, yeah. And then I will go for the Power Lariat for a knockout, taking my prize. Yeah, obviously that last turn I was trying to get the Melodic. I could have done it a turn earlier and maybe just gone ahead and done it. But
I was just hoping you didn't have it. And then I was like trying to time my admin.
I was trying to wait until I was in threat of being KO'd, but I probably should have done it just the turn earlier.
Yeah, you should do it the turn earlier, because I'm going to admin the turn before I
right.
go for the Technical Machine. All right, GG Ship. Yeah, that game, I think you definitely took it a little bit slower. And then it's really, once the second Pidgeot comes online, it becomes very hard to beat. But if you only have one Pidgeot,
it was the first time I was really able to set up a second Pidgeot efficiently.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, once the second Pidgeot comes online, it's really tough, because we saw in game 1, I was able to cheese like turn 4, KO your only Pidgeot, and kind of did the same thing in game 2, or attempted to. But game 3 there, you had 3 Nidoqueens and Pidgeot before you had set up. I definitely think I should have tried to get my Magmar online sooner and probably be more aggressive. It was funny though. I drew into my Magmar off my first Copycat, so I couldn't change it with the Jirachi. And then I messed up and didn't play for it on the next turn, but when I played the Copycat, I drew back into the Magmar anyways, so I couldn't actually get it into the active either turn. Jeez. But it was a fun one. It was a fun one for sure.
Yeah, that deck is really cool. This deck is also, really... this deck is, like, much more straightforward, Yeah. It's, like, evolve, attack, right? But, yeah, very fun format. I definitely still prefer 2004 and 2006 to this one, but this is a great format, a fun little trip down memory lane.
The POW hand extensions are just super sick, to be honest. That's, like, the...
broken card.
Pretty good.
You can still play it in 2006.
That's true. In fact, Jason won with the Metacham deck that had it. All right.
Had 4, yeah.
Yeah. All right, catch you all in the next one.
GG's, Azul.
GG's.